Good evening. I've been offline, not producing the YouTube videos, not because I wanted to be silent. I want to share with you one reality, the life of Abraham, God's servant, who was appointed to be the father of all nations. At the age of 75, when he was at Haran, hunger struck him, and God was instructing Abram to move from where he was to Egypt en route to Canaan. So I want to say that God's people, they attend at certain stages to be beggars. And when they are made to be beggars, certain circumstances, they force them even to lie. Like how Abram lied to say, this one is my sister, in order for him to find a place to stay, in order for him to be accepted in Egypt. And as he talked to the wife to say, if they ask you, tell them that you are my sister, because I have to live for you. Because if I say, you are my wife because you are beautiful, they will tend to kill me. Through that lie, he was preserved. Through that lie, he was chased to say, why did you lie? Can you move? Get your wife, leave from here. But thank God that the animals that the king had paid for Dolly, they were given to him. And an addition, then Abraham started a life that was better than at Haran. Furthermore, Abraham was forced to share the land with Lot. And God continued blessing Abraham whilst facing a lot of challenges, where his well being closed up, and the first well was closed up, the second one was closed up, until finally the third one, he kept on changing places. What is it that I'm trying to tell you? I'm saying we have another prophet of God, Elijah, that commanded a widow. He did not ask, he commanded a widow. When the miraculous well sustained him with water in the desert for 3 years, and the birds were supplying to Elijah, then God told him to say, now, as in the case of Abraham, he was actually not supposed to overstay. He was not supposed to continue being fed by the birds. And God created a drought of food. And imagine, as a prophet, you are hungry the way I've been hungry for these days, and I'm still faced with a heavy hunger. Not because I'm not hardworking. I have, in exile, outside here, in my small hut, that which I built using my own money, I have 3 bakkies that are packed, that are supposed to be distributing vegetables around South Africa. But unfortunately, I'm being fought left, right, center by the enemies of this ministry. At the same time, God requires me to speak the truth, and I'm being hacked. My phones, they just stop working. They just drop and so forth. But I want to say that everything that I'm going through, God still tells me to say, I must rescue the nation from economical slavery by telling the presidents to say they must not usher in a government that is donor funded. I want to say that African leadership is what has made me to be who I am today. African leadership is what has made me to be a beggar, to be hungry, because it was revealed to me in 1990 to say the democracy that is coming. You know, in Africa, Central Africa, let me say Ghana was the first country to declare democracy, but it never had a sitting president elected from a multi-party system. The very president that declared democracy, he continued leading, but Zambia became the first country in Central Africa, or in Africa rather, to receive this multi-party democracy and to usher in a president, Dr. Chiluba, as the first multi-party democracy. Zambia became the first country to be declared a Christian nation. And all these things that I'm actually mentioning, they were prophetically revealed. Zambia was the first country also to have Big Brother Africa, Ambassador Sheris. All those which I've mentioned, if I can take time to define how sinful are those things, I will need more than 1 hour, 30 minutes or more. But thereafter, I have challenges to post this video. But now I'm commanding today to say all this information that I have, I'm commanding, if there is a widow who has his last meal, willing to share the meal with me, and by sharing the meal with me, it will enable me to preach this gospel that I have. I'm appealing to the world. There are people that have abundance. There are people that fear God, that have abundance, more than what they need. And there are those that have the last meal, but they fear God, to say there is a judgment pending for the world, and they want to sacrifice for God. Let them come on this ministry, to support this ministry, so that I can give a pure owning. I can educate the citizens of this world to differentiate between democracy, dictatorship, kingship, and to know which system is the best for Africa. Because right now, every leader in Zambia who is talking about a good democracy under his leadership, that leader is in ignorance. Every leader in Africa that talk of developing his country based on donor funds, based on a system that once colonized us, such a leader is lying. Because right now, our natural resources is what makes us to be in exile. Because when you speak the truth, you become the enemy of that system that want to colonize, that has colonized Africa economically. Now, I'm not begging. If you want, you can leave. I'll tell you to say, I have friends that I met only on Facebook. I've never shaken hands with them. We've never sat closer to each other, but they have contributed to sustain this ministry. They are failing also, but they are friends that I kept in my own house. Bring them from the village, bring them in town, giving them an opportunity to look for work or job. And when they started working, we are good friends. I could provide my transport for free, taking them where they want. I had friends that I could give money when I had money. I had people that I worshipped with, those which I gave business capitals and so forth. But in times like this, they are nowhere to be seen. They cannot even reply my Facebook messages when I'm trying to contact them. But I'm appealing and commanding those that are God-fearing to say, as Elijah commanded a widow to say, I know you are hungry, but because of God's message, can you feed me first before you feed yourself and your child? And this command, I want to tell you to say, even if you know to say you have your last money in your bank account, contribute to the ministry so that I can educate the world. I can educate Africa. I can educate families so that we install true religion. We install true African leadership. We install in place right dictators that are going to protect Africa's natural resources so that there can be employment, there can be good work, and there can be wealth in families. May God bless you for responding to Elijah's call to say, call and prepare, bake for me first. I'm sleeping without knowing what I'm going to eat tomorrow. Even this airtime that I've bought data to make this video, I begged for it. Not because I'm not a hard worker. I can prove that I have a 3-hectare farm where my vegetables have been destroyed. Literally out of jealousy, literally out of stopping the ministry from progressing. So it is my prayer that those who are my followers, may they also be the followers in distributing this message by supporting it. May God bless you. Amen.